I think it needs some time. I think your proactive consideration of that, I think, will be resolved soon. Sri Honorable MP Bharat Garu, so to give his address.
Mentioned Saurabhji's name when we met also, and you had a very good place in terms of it's a beach city. There is already a vibe around this city that it's clean and that people want to come here. So developing the social infrastructure is going to be important for us to thrive in this environment. So some of the points Saurabhji mentioned, which is security, transport, are good, but I think other things would be sort of uninterrupted internet, high quality, high speed internet across the ecosystem. I mean, very anecdotally, Vizag is a very hilly and area with a lot of forests. So there are many roads which I drive through where my network drops. So because I live two lives, I love to do Zoom meetings in the car, but because of this lack of internet, sometimes I become unproductive. No, I'm not complaining. And now I'm speaking on their behalf also, let's say. And hospitality also. I think sometimes people work night shifts, they want to come out, want to go to a place to eat. There aren't restaurants that are open at that time of the day, so they were interrelated. So I think developing hospitality will not only help the IT sector, but also the entire tourism of the ecosystem to grow. So I think we are in safe hands, and the minister will obviously speak about many of the ideas and initiatives on the new IT policy and some of the points that Lakshmi Garu also mentioned. Because we are running slightly late, I'll cut myself short here. I'm always accessible to you. We'll leave the space for our minister to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Bharat Garu, for your Now I request our chief guest, the Honorable Minister, Sri Nara Lokesh Garu. Sir, you can address from there itself. Just, the format here is, sir, you can give opening remarks. Then we'll go around all the tables and we'll take all the inputs on the policy.
వేదిక మీద ఉన్న పెద్దలకి ఐటాక్ ప్రతినిధులందరికీ నా హృదయపూర్వక నమస్కారాలు. All of you know about Mr. Naidu's leadership when it comes to promoting Hyderabad as the IT destination. In one word, he's infamous for it. It could be the first meeting he had with Mr. Gates. It could be how he hijacked ISB from going to other states and bringing to erstwhile capital of combined Andhra Pradesh, Hyderabad. He was known for creating a simple government. And in the last term, between 14 and 19, as we call it, CBN 3.0 was ease of doing business. We got in Kia, HCL is known, Zoho, TCL, Conduit, various other companies, just because we were easy to work with as a state. And now the new mantra of this government is not about ease of doing business, but speed of doing business. And that is why we are all here. And the Honorable Chief Minister has been saying again and again that it's 95 leadership that people are going to see. So we are already, all of us are worried because he's going to start a surprise visit soon. And I'm sure he'll visit schools and keep us all on our toes. The reason I wanted this meeting fundamentally was, rather than going after newer investments alone, all of you already know about Visakhapatnam, know about Andhra Pradesh. And against the wind, you've invested here. So it's very, very important that we treat you more, we understand your problems and debottleneck it. I want to be clear, in the last 5 years, all of you had a lot of headwind, a lot of issues, and I'm here to resolve those issues. As a government, we believe both development and welfare go together. And if you look at our manifesto, we call it Super 6. The first promise is to create 20 lakh jobs. And in every speech of mine, in a Padyatra, I reiterated it. And we are committed to creating jobs. And that is one of the primary agenda with which your government is going to work. It's also important that I come here and reiterate our commitment to Visakhapatnam. People of Visakhapatnam have shown great faith on the NDA government. I mean, if you just look at the majorities, I think it's a testimony to that. I was so excited when my team told me that you're going to win with 91,413 votes thereof. I was really excited. I'm like, we're creating history. That lasted exactly 3 minutes. Before someone came and told me, boss, Palla is going to beat you. Then comes Beamlee to beat me. Then I was in the 3rd place across the state. And then, of course, I had a challenge with Bharat during campaign that Guntur will compete with Vizag in terms of majority. And Vizag people have spoken. We have lost that race. Our commitment is clear to Visakhapatnam. You have great faith on this government. We will deliver on it. Visakhapatnam is going to be the financial capital of Andhra Pradesh. No second thought about it. When it comes to IT, you've seen I've done a lot of work. I had a very short stint, but I did a lot of work. First thing everyone appreciated was we had a stable IT secretary, and we have a really good IT secretary now also. And we will continue on a promise of decentralized development. We promised it in the past. We will deliver on it. No second thoughts. In terms of the way I look at Visakhapatnam, I think we have to rebuild. Because the only thing the previous administration built was a beautiful palace, which I'm yet to see. But no grade A IT space has been created. We were not able to create meaningful jobs. All of you with great hopes have invested in Andhra Pradesh. Your incentives have been delayed for now more than 5 years. Simple things like streetlights. I mean, I was shocked when I met a few of the representatives from the industry. They said, we've been asking the earlier government, give me streetlights. And that was not delivered. I really felt bad. I apologized for it. And I said, we'll deliver on it. Streetlights, honestly, is a very small issue that we should be worried about. But, that's the kind of problems that you are dealing with. And we are here to resolve any problem that you have, small or big. As an IT minister, I believe in the power of ecosystem. That is what Hyderabad is today. That is what Bangalore is today. Hyderabad basically rode the wave of Y2K. I believe now Vizag can do that with the AI and data centers. If all of you recollect, when I was the IT minister, we created a customized policy back then for Adanis to invest close to $15 billion back then. Now it doesn't mean much in terms of data center. Back then it was huge money. And people were imagining AI, they didn't experience it. But that was the vision with which we worked. We wanted Visakhapatnam to be the data centers AI hub, not for India but for the world. And you've seen the project also did not move. So they were the first people I called. I said, now let's put timelines for each other, and I'm hoping that we will deliver on some good news soon. Apart from that, we are going. The top 10 IT companies, we're already reaching out. The Honorable Chief Minister already had a series of meetings with all the representatives of CII. Certain commitments were made. They will be officially announced. I think it will be premature for me to talk about it at this juncture. But our agenda is to rebuild that ecosystem. And I'm handling HRD, I'm handling IT electronics, I'm handling skill development. So Madam Gar has asked about the end-to-end, and I think I'm the minister now dealing with it, responsible for it end-to-end, and we will deliver in terms of creating that vibrancy in Visakhapatnam. We have to ride a wave, and that wave is clearly here. It's going to be the data centers and the AI wave. I've already had a series of meetings with people who have a lot of investments in that sector, who have done a lot of work already and who are planning to do a lot of work. Close to $300 billion will get invested in this sector every year till the foreseeable future. All of you understand now NVIDIA GPUs are becoming difficult to get. So preferred access has become a big deal. So $300 billion will get invested in this sector every year. And I intend to get the lion's share of that, not only to India, but to Visakhapatnam. AI is here, quantum computing is here, robotics is going to be here tomorrow. All three are our focus areas for Visakhapatnam. It is fundamentally next decade is going to fundamentally transform the way we are going to interact across sectors. Even movie making is going to be transformed. The entire legal fraternity, politics, business, healthcare is going to be fundamentally transformed. Education will also be transformed. So we are unable to really get to understand the power of AI. And I believe Andhra should be at the forefront. Already the Honorable Chief Minister has made it very clear that the AI University should come to Andhra Pradesh. Like how ISB was industry-led, we want to create a world-class institute where we'll have centers of excellence across each of the sectors that I spoke about. So that is our commitment, and we will deliver on this promise to the state and to Visakhapatnam. As far as policies are considered, last time when we created the policies after I became the minister was in consultation with the industry. Back then Vijayanand sir was the Secretary IT. We worked on the policies, we delivered on it, and unfortunately we have not been able to deliver the incentives bit. And I think that's very unfair, and that is going to be a priority for our government. First, to clear the pending incentives that are accrued. Number one. Number two, I'm also led to believe that they didn't even let you apply for the second round of incentives. So you have created the jobs, but they shut the portal down. I think that shows lack of transparency of the previous administration. It's not just the IT industry, every industry actually has faced this problem in Andhra Pradesh. And we will work with you in terms of opening up that window and creating very streamlined policies. Back then, Vijayanand sir worked on it. And as an IT minister, I have a lot of understanding of how to do it. We'll create a very streamlined, paperless policy to ensure your incentives are delivered through a green channel. Parallelly, we will work on other policies. Now, AI policy has to come. The erstwhile data center policies need to be brushed up, and we need to bring that back. Then we also need to bring in grade A office space. Unfortunately, we don't even have that. I've already started talking to all the developers in India. And under either the GCC policy or various other policies, I've asked them to come and start constructing grade A space. And as far as Visakhapatnam is concerned, if you talk about what is my vision, 90% of the IT investments that will come to Andhra Pradesh will come to Visakhapatnam. And there is no second thought about it. Visakhapatnam was the 9th largest economy, has now slipped to 10th largest economy in India. It has slipped a place. And that really pains me. Because there's so much of raw potential here in Visakhapatnam. During my Padayatra, I spoke about it. In the Sabha, the final Sabha, I spoke about it. Where I broadly laid out saying that why can't we take Visakhapatnam from where it is close to $40 billion economy to making it a $100 billion economy, and Visakhapatnam fuel the rest of the state of Andhra Pradesh, and we are committed to that vision as far as the NDA government is concerned. So we will bring investments across sector. It's not only IT, we will double down on pharma. We see a lot of potentials in MSME, a lot of discussions around even basic manufacturing. So we are going to double down. The airport works are going fast. But there's greater responsibility on Bharat to bring the connectivity. I think he's yet to realize he became an MP. Because in the past he also used to complain, now also he seems to be complaining. So now it's his responsibility to get the connectivity. It's his responsibility as an MP to ensure that the airport is built on time. And in the car, on the way here, we also discussed, we said that both of us will take equal responsibility of attracting investments, and my doors are always open in terms of bringing those investments to the state of Andhra Pradesh, and more so Visakhapatnam. And no second thoughts about it. I mean, Telugulo prapanchamanta unnaru, ఏ కంపెనీకి వెళ్ళినా తెలుగులో ఉన్నారు. శివనాటర్ గారే స్వయంగా మాకు తమిళ కన్నా ఎక్కువ తెలుగులో పనిచేస్తున్నారు హెచ్సిఎల్ అని స్వయంగా నాకు ఆయనే చెప్పారు. సో ఏ ఐటీ కంపెనీకి వెళ్ళినా మనోళ్ళు ఉన్నారు. అవకాశాలు లేక పక్క రాష్ట్రాలకు వెళ్ళారు. దానికి ఫుల్ స్టాప్ పెట్టాల్సిన బాధ్యత మన ప్రభుత్వం పైన ఉంది. అది పర్సనల్గా నేను తీసుకుంటాను. And as part of that, the skill sense is something we are going to launch soon. I want industry to be very much a part of it. It's not just about enumeration. We have also been talking about assessment to be done and make it a world-class product. And I've been talking to a lot of people. But we would like to have all the titans of the industry to be part of that journey so that we can get good quality, ready, available manpower. And skilling is going to be a greater part of it also. I'm truly passionate about education. In Padayatra, I spoke about strengthening our curriculum, KG to PG, and it requires a revamp. I'm working on it. As far as AU University is considered, you've seen the rankings have slipped, and that again pains us. Babu Gar gave me a straight agenda. He said AU should be among the top 100 universities in the world. And that is the agenda with which, as a HRD minister, I'll be working on. And that is my commitment to Visakhapatnam. I'm here to create jobs. I'm here to create a good environment, inviting environment for you to enable me to create jobs. So whatever incentives you ask, I'll look at it, and in the bottom I'm going to put a number. That will be the number of jobs you'll have to create. And if there is anything I'll harass you on, that will be one number I'll harass you on. మీరు హామీ ఇచ్చారు ఈ క్వార్టర్లో ఇన్ని ఉద్యోగాలు కల్పిస్తానని, ఎంతవరకు మీరు వచ్చారు దానిపైన ఐ విల్ డెఫినెట్లీ క్వశ్చన్ పుల్ అప్. You should excuse me if I'm going to pull all of you up, but that is the agenda, creating 20 lakh jobs. And if India does not manage its demographic dividend in the next decade, we are going to have a serious problem as society, and that really worries me. And I think there's greater responsibility now, because you have, though I'm second time minister, I'm still young. Don't let the grey hair fool you. Bharat is a very young MP, very passionate. So we have a young team. If you look at it, out of the 164 NDA MLAs, 88 of them are first-time MLAs. 17 out of the 25 ministers are first-timers. So we bring in a lot of raw energy and potential. We really are here to transform the state. And we want to be the best in anything that we do. So our commitment is clear to Visakhapatnam. I think I've spoken enough. I'm here to listen from you. Madam spoke about women diversity. I think it starts at home. So Brahmani pays for all my credit card bills, and of late she's been complaining that my expenses have gone up. So it starts at home, and from Babu Garu, we truly believe that women should be at the forefront of things, and we will continue to do that. Innovation and incubation has stalled, while other states and even tier 3 cities have done far better than Visakhapatnam. I've looked at the data. In fact, yesterday we had a meeting on that. So I think there's a lot of work to be done, and I promise you we'll definitely do something special, and we will bring women into mainstream workforce. But for that we will need your support to curate and guide us on how to do it. And Bharat Garu spoke about internet connectivity. I think it's his responsibility, not mine. So he has all the power as MP, so now I think we should all work. And I do understand communications is under me. And I've already, sir and I actually had a meeting about it, to looking at where are all the dark spots. And CM Garu's direction is 5G should be delivered to every citizen of Andhra Pradesh. That itself will create a new ecosystem is what we believe. We are in the process of doing that. We also spoke about hospitality related issues and law and order related issues. We need to sit down, stabilize that. You have a new team. The police commissioner is a new man, the SP, everyone is new here. Again, they have great responsibility to deliver on this, and our agenda, as I said, is 20 lakh jobs. So we should deliver on this, and whatever is the catalyst to do that, we are here to deliver. Yeah? So I think I spoke enough, and now I would like to open this session up. If you want this to be off-record interaction, we can do that. If you want it to be an on-record interaction, I have no problem. So I'll leave it
on this. Lokesh Garu, just when you are talking about Bharat, when the election campaign was going on, all of us met him. When he was campaigning, we were given, then we had to cut him short and no, we have to make him win with a majority first, then we'll talk about policies. Just to give you a backdrop of the spirit of the people, and everybody in this room is a job creator. So you're speaking to the right audience. And I also want to thank you, when you were the IT minister, you had the perfect policies in place. You had a designated technology park policy, you had an incentive policy, you had every policy that was the best policy in the country, and we were very happy. Just when it was about to take off, unfortunately, we lost power and a new gentleman came. And I just want to brief you, this is the first meeting we are having with an IT minister and a member of parliament and an IT secretary together after maybe 5.5, 6 years. Not a single meeting has taken place. So we want to thank you very much. This itself sends a very positive message. I want you to understand the very fact that you have taken time off your schedule and a member of parliament, IT secretary have come here, shows your positiveness. We understand it, we appreciate it. We want to assure you that we work with you in your dream. And not a single meeting like this happened in the last 5.5 years. Forget about incentives, forget about nothing. They didn't even consult. So we are very happy that we are open mind. I'll just wrap up a few suggestions just to bring it to your notice, sir. I think you're already aware that the Millennium Tower building, about 3 lakh square feet, you were the one last time who inaugurated the second phase. You initiated the funding, because when it stopped, we brought it to your notice. When you made a visit, you granted the funds and completed. By now it's done, sir. The second phase of the building also is done. In the last 5 years, 3 lakh SFT space, fully built space was kept idle. So if you can give it to the top 10 companies in whatever incentive format you can think of, we can bring in investments where we have ready-made space. And another 5 to 10 lakh square feet is there with private companies, which if you can bring up something like the DTP policy you had, I think we can bring in more investments. And you had the Kapluppada also, if you remember, you visited last time personally. And after you granted funds, the approach roads and all are completed. So the entire Kapluppada layout also is complete, but still not given to a single IT company. So these are completed areas where you think you can offer to investors to start with. Apart from that, the quality of in the last 5 years, I think you are aware, the power charges have gone up by 7 times. The property taxes have been
9 times.
Huh?
9 times. Yeah.
And why I am bringing it up to your notice, sir, there are 3 incentives you need to think of. One is for IT companies to come to Visakhapatnam, then IT employees to make Vizag affordable. The fuel charges are the highest in the country in Vizag, sir. Even though I don't consume liquor, liquor is the highest in the country. Liquor is priced at the highest rate in the country in Andhra Pradesh. Power is okay, reasonably priced compared to other states, but it went up by 7-8 times. And the property taxes have been linked to registration rates and they are going up every year. The property taxes have went up by 30-35% in the last 2 years. So the cost of living for an IT employee has gone up dramatically, sir. So we have to address this problem somewhere. I know we are give waiver on registration charges, land conversion charges and municipal approval charges. That will be the incentive. You need not promise 1 rupee also because I know it's difficult to pay incentive. That is infrastructure policy incentives for both industries and IT developers, sir. For IT companies, you are aware, last time you have done a fantastic job. That will be good enough. If you can get that or some other incentives, that will be good enough for it. So these we need to have 3 policies. So one for employees, one for developers, and one for IT companies, sir. And the other thing, for 5 years it was dead. It did not happen. This state government did not give money. Then we also requested last time when the IT ministry came, CDAC for Vizag, Center for Development of Advanced Computing, where supercomputers, they agreed to house it in their space in case we don't have land also. So we can bring CDAC to Visakhapatnam, sir. And in addition to that, we also asked in these 2 years we can get more flights if we can give incentives on the flights. Same time, railway zone also, if we can get more. Railway zone was sanctioned for Visakhapatnam but not operationalized. All this affects the ecosystem and investments into Vizag. If you can give them some straight on this and we can take 10 minutes of your personal time to brief you on other areas like tourism. We had a meeting with tourism developers where they came up with a bunch of suggestions.
With the best in class in India. That plays a very important role in bringing conventions and all of us need to accept that reality of life. So we are definitely going to work on it. And work is already on. There's a subcommittee that's in place. So, all the old brands should be back. That's also our election promise. So, we'll deliver on our promise. Coming to taxes have really gone up. There's no second thought about it. And the reason was there's no development and in order to feed the debt that was taken and the interest that we had to pay, taxes have been increased, making it very expensive and unviable, and that's a big concern. In this, it's a matter of fact that we lost companies to Orissa, we lost companies to Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. Back then, all of you know, we had an Economic Development Board. We had some very good youngsters, and you'll be surprised, 80% of them are today working in other state boards. That means we created a good set of people. The previous government said they don't need them. Other states took them. The institutional knowledge was good. They were able to go fast. We are reviving Economic Development Board. We have decided on a CEO. We're going to rebuild the entire team. And that will be the single point also for the entire ecosystem, the IT ecosystem. That's going to be part of the EDB. So we're going to deliver on that and we're going to create new policies, as you rightly said. In terms of IT infra creation, I'm already talking to all the players. We'll definitely do what needs to be done in that sense. The Millennium Towers, the various other spaces that are available is something that I've requested the Honorable PSIT to map and keep it available in the deck, because when companies come, they want to start, and companies are coming and they're getting ready to allocate the space. So they can use the space till they build a new building or till grade A office space come, and then they move, then the next player can come in, and that's the idea with which we're sort of working. Air connectivity, absolutely. I spoke to Ramu about it. We had a meeting day for night. We spent a good 2.5 hours. We're looking at a few other initiatives specifically for in and around Vizag. I think it's too premature for me to comment. He's really working hard on it, and good announcements should come soon. We will connect Visakhapatnam to the world. We've already had conversations with various other players in the industry. They're all excited to do it. One is, of course, we're also struggling with high parking fees, what I hear, and landing charges, taking off charges are also very high. So we need to figure that quit out. I did inform Ramu about it, and he said he'll personally work on it and come back to me. So we will work on connecting Visakhapatnam even better, especially to Dubai and further, at least to Europe, and hopefully the US soon. And we have our own minister as civil aviation minister, so it's our own minister. It makes it a lot easier. Rest of it, you have my number anyway. I think half of you anyway have my personal number, so I gave it as an IT minister. I don't know whether you had the previous minister's number, but you had mine. And a lot of you did share feedback at various points in the last 5 years also. And I'll be connected. I'm here. Any issues there, real time, we will deliver. I told my OSD handling IT, industry-specific WhatsApp groups have also been created. So we'll work on ITAP. I know we had an old group. None of us are using it obviously. In the last 5 years, we'll recreate. We'll create a group because I had a direct connection with the members of ITAP and said, if you had a problem, just escalate. We're all there. We are all here. It's non-confrontational. We're all here to learn from our mistakes. And we'll continue to maintain that dialogue. Thank you.
Here we started the company in Vizag. Now we are around, we do the high-end work employees. And the ecosystem that you're talking about, and now that you're the IT minister, we're really excited about, as you know, Naresh Garu mentioned, the interaction wasn't there, right? The opportunities weren't. But we are excited about you taking on this role. Saurabh also, we interacted with him. One thing you mentioned earlier that really caught my mind is you all talked about the focus of keeping the existing employers happy, right? The local one. And that is something that I think we should definitely do, apart from not just attracting others. So whatever the incentives are, what is it that we are able to do to incentivize the local organizations, so that we can call a base over here. We are not going to move, right? You just mentioned about, incentives that the other states are providing. Now, we have been attracted to it, but we are over here, and that lines up with your vision of creating an IT industry over here. And I really like your vision of creating an AI ecosystem over here, and I think that is the way to go about. But focus on existing employers over here would go a long way as well. And I've already talked to Saurabh about specifics as to how to go about it. But I really like that both the HRD and IT and all of this is coming together, because the ecosystem needs to be created around here.
Working together to enable you to create at least 5,000 jobs in the next 5 years. So I think we'll take it as a challenge for both of us. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for being here. Important announcement today is that we wanted to focus on digital infrastructure, focusing on data center creation and all that, for which internet exchange is definitely needed. Yes. So I hope that happens very soon, and that would definitely trigger more data centers to be set up here in terms of the size and scale. The second thing I wanted to talk about is the digital transformation of manufacturing companies based in Andhra. So most of our members are also members of CAA, and we have past president here. I've been interacting with some manufacturing companies based in industrial parks, MSME parks and all that, especially those small and medium manufacturing companies do not know how to digitally transform their business. So there's an IT component missing in most of these small and mid-sized companies. Maybe we could include that factor as a digital transformation of manufacturing companies as one of the incentives that to be considered in industrial policy that is coming up. So there's a slight linkage that we can do between IT and industrial policy, where those manufacturing companies will have some incentive to promote digital transformation in those legacy companies. I think all other points are covered by my colleagues. Thank you for being here.
In terms of digital transformation is one bit, and the second bit, of course, the internet exchange. Both are very, very important. See, if you look at digital transformation, Singapore is a country I idealize when it comes to that, because once every 3 years they give incentives for a company to upgrade their entire technology stack. And it's a policy of the Singapore government, and they do it very, very well. And they've been doing this now for almost 3 decades. I know this because I interned there at the PM office way back in 2001, if I'm right. almost 2.5 decades. I've seen the same policy, and that's how they're able to create that kind of vibrancy, and they're able to remain relevant and compete with new rising giants like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and a few others coming. They're really able to fight well. And I think they're really skilling up their manpower, and they call it lifelong learning as far as skill development is concerned in Singapore, and they're really passionate about it. And these are things that we have to learn from them. I mean, all of you understand that we are a bit cash tight as a state, but it's an agenda point that we will take up seriously. And I will talk to my counterpart in industries, TG Bharat, on it. And I'll discuss it. Thank you.
Having 1,900 employees, IT employees working, and we do want to grow. We have found our third center now ready to invest, and that will be launched, giving another 500 people job the very next year, and looking forward to grow more in that city. I love the B city, but we do think that Tirupati should not be known only as a temple town, but also as an IT town, as state of Andhra Pradesh. Thank you very much, sir.
So one thing, Sir and I are working very close. There are going to be some good announcements soon. A lot of excitement in the space. Make in India big push. While there are certain glamorous things that people want me to attract, I'm looking at what creates more jobs to start up, because I have limited resources. So what's going to create more jobs? I'm going to put money behind it. Electronics manufacturing in certain areas will create a lot of jobs, and that's something that we're really, really excited about. In the electronic space, a lot of the past players have had a very bad experience in the last 5 years. They've expressed it on record, off record to me. And we have to now make it pleasant. First thing I did was, of course, apologize for the past 5 years' bad experience. But now it's a greater responsibility on me to ensure that the speed of doing business is something that the promise we will deliver upon.
Absolutely, sir. That will help. There's given a mandate to our amongst the CXOs, to the board, that we are more in Chennai right now. We want to move that business and give that opportunity in Andhra Pradesh, more so in Tirupati, and this support will definitely go a long way for us.
No, I'm looking at all of you as brand ambassadors of Andhra Pradesh. It's not going to, only one Lokesh cannot do this. The reason I'm having this meeting is, of course I'm here to solve your problems, but I think it's important to now talk with renewed optimism, energy, to your friends, to your colleagues, and ask them to look at Andhra Pradesh. Because if you look at any IT company, a decent chunk, if I may, or majority would be actually from the 2 Telugu speaking states. So we have a lot of commitment to come back. People are excited. I think now we just need to, all of us need to reach out in our own sphere of network. That's what I'm doing. One contact that Brahmani shared on an IPO, on a IPO platform. She heard some discussion about a certain subject, and she shared saying, no, go reach out to them. So that is the energy with which we are here, and everyone is really taking it seriously, this mandate seriously, because winning 164 out of 175 is no joke for a government. I mean, that's a massive mandate. Chittur, Kadapa, Karnool, we swept. Barring few seats, we swept. So there's a great mandate on us. And decentralized development in the past, we spoke about it, and electronics, I was very passionate. TCL, it was closed over one dinner, and I think the only thing they paid for is that dinner. As the after party was paid by me, so I know that vividly, very clear. So I keep joking to them that you didn't even give me a TV. So, but it's the largest TV panel manufacturer in the world. We got them. Massive commitments have been made. It's a beautiful campus. You know it better than me. Dixon. No one knew about Dixon back then when we got. Now look where Dixon is. But we lost it. We lost the speed to other states. So a lot of work can be actually done. And thanks to Amar Raja, there's already a great ecosystem in terms of manufacturing. Of course, we lost Amar Raja expansion also because of why. And you understand that there are a lot of harassment with pollution board, labor board, and all that. So they said enough is enough. It's very unfortunate because they're the largest taxpayer in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Largest. We lost them. So that's the kind of headwind with which we are now swimming. We are swimming against the tide, but we are all committed. So I request all of you to be the brand ambassadors of Andhra Pradesh, brand ambassadors of Visakhapatnam, of Tirupati. My agenda is Andhra Pradesh, and I'm here to represent the state. So please promote, please talk, and I'm here to deliver on my promise, which is speed of doing business, and I will deliver on that. Thank you. Ma'am, if you don't mind, can you just put it?
Yeah, and trying to onboard companies, bring investments, foreign investments, especially from the US to here. But practically speaking, there have been few challenges. One of them being the cost of the land and whatever, the incentives. Sorry, please don't take it as a criticism. This is real ground feedback that I'm getting. I tried to get in few companies through my contacts, onboarded, and some of them were in your meeting, Saurabh last Friday. So after being in the meeting and after being exposed to the land prices, they kind of dropped off. So when I asked them, trying to understand what the reasons are, they are comparing our land prices with other states, what they are offering, the incentives and the prices there, and how it is working out better for them in Tamil Nadu versus here. So to that point, I also want to clearly understand, like, what are we going to really do in terms of incentivizing them, and also how are we going to streamline this process, right? It's a one-off reach, like everybody's reaching out. It's all over the place. Do we have a process in place to kind of onboard people from other countries?
Right, to get the land allocated to HCL. So I understand the challenges, and this is something that we're going to work on. And the land price can be what the cabinet chooses it to be, and it's going to be linked to the number of jobs potentially it will create. So we'll work on that policy, and that's something that is our agenda, and that's where Sir also met last week, all of you, to take feedback, and that's something that we'll work on. As far as other incentives, we will benchmark and we'll be realistic in terms of what we can deliver. Because I don't believe in promising the moon and not delivering. And last 5 years, all of you struggled with it. I don't want that bad reputation. And some states have received that reputation. When I met people from the industry saying, what you promise, please deliver. Please don't make us run again from pillar to post for that delivery. So I think that's what we are saying. The speed of delivery is something that we will promise. That itself is a huge benefit. In fact, one of the very important businessmen in India told me one thing. He said, Lokesh, what you're competing with other states, don't do it on incentives, do it on speed of delivery. Because if a capital project for me gets delayed by a year, that's almost 12% escalation. Simple straight 12% escalation, and I can't afford it. All my business plan goes for a toss. If you say that you're going to do it, you're going to deliver something tomorrow, deliver it today. And if you promise that you're going to deliver it today, it should have been done yesterday. I thought that was a very profound statement that he made when I had the one-on-one. So that's something that we discussed with Sir. In that meeting, the Honorable Chief Minister was also there. So I think this is something that's really gotten into hand. So we will deliver and make it up on speed of doing business. In terms of land pricing, it all depends on the number of jobs they're going to create.
Yeah.
And that for me is important. And we will work with you on that. And we will work with the CM, and that's the vision with which we're taking it back. So EDB will be the single point of contact. And one thing last time that we... So for your question, I think Bharat asked that question saying there should be a team in Vizag. Yes, there will be a team in Vizag. Take decisions. So they're not going to look back. They're not going to look back and saying, what will, Minister IT say? I mean, no, they're going to be completely empowered, clear role responsibility, and they'll deliver on it. So we are going to create a separate team with 500,000 jobs in less than a year. If I can convince all, that's my job, and I'll do that.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anybody from the...
We started with a small team of 250 people when we started in